What is up, late night gamers? Midnight 40 here, and today we are going to be talking about Modern Warfare 3 2023. More specifically, the beta that was just out for a few days. There were 2 weekends of it. One of them was PS5 exclusive, one of them was open to all platforms, and then the last section of that open to all platforms was open to anybody, even if you hadn't pre-purchased the game. That's the category I fall in right now. I have not pre-purchased the game, but I wanted to get my hands on it, see if it played out anything like Modern Warfare 2. I did enjoy Modern Warfare 2. Don't have a ton of time in it, but still played it a decent bit. As far as the Modern Warfare 3 beta goes, I did play the beta until I hit level 30. I maxed out. I mostly did that by playing Rust during the double XP on the last day, just because I didn't play enough through the first day or day and a half or whatever it was. So yeah, I grinded out Rust, and it was not necessarily completely enjoyable, but it was something, and it got my feet wet in the game, and that was kind of exciting. So just a couple of things that I wanted to talk about the beta, about Modern Warfare 3 in general, about how the game is hopefully gonna feel, or maybe about changes they could make before they release. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the guns, both how they felt and then balancing. As far as feeling, there was no really distinct gun feeling, like they kind of just all felt like paintball guns. They didn't really have any recoil patterns that were specific to each gun. Really, the sounds even weren't necessarily like distinct enough to be like, that's the MCW or whatever it was called. Like, nah, it's just I also didn't do any side-by-side comparisons to Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 2019. I know some other people did, and they said that the sound is not nearly as good in this game as those games. So just something to take into consideration when you're thinking about this game. One of the things I did have an issue with was the weapon balancing. I felt like ARs really didn't have a place in the game. To be fair, I think I used 2 of them. I think I used the MCZ and the MCW, if I'm remembering that correctly. I didn't mess around with any of the other ARs that were unlocked throughout the gameplay. But I didn't really see anybody else using them either, and when I did, I didn't notice them killing me incredibly fast. So there's kind of 3 classes that I noticed for, there's your long range. You got snipers dominating, usually 1-hit kills as long as it's chest and up. It's not usually too big of an issue to get a hit marker, and even with 150 damage, yes, this game does have 150 damage or 150 health per player, whereas the previous games just had 100. There's a higher time to kill in this game. That being said, snipers would still usually one-shot, and this is a semi-automatic rifle that you have access to in the beta, and it was still fairly consistent as long as you're hitting chest and shoulders up. Close range shotguns were really powerful. I was surprised with the extra health that each player had, that shotguns were still as potent and deadly at close range as they were. So that was frustrating at first when I was trying to run around with ARs and trying to take fights on Rust, and there's people sitting in corners and random spots, and they just have a shotgun that one pumps. And yeah, shotguns should one pump, but in a game with higher time to kill and ARs not being nearly as strong, that can be tough. It feels like shotguns are really the only option at close range. And then you've got everything between, snipers and shotguns is covered basically by the striker, the most overpowered SMG you've ever seen in any game. It's low fire rate, low recoil, but it just dominates. It's a 4-shot body shots to kill at most distances until you start getting really far out there, but at that point you might as well just use a sniper anyway. When most ARs take at least 5 hits, and that's not including like headshots. Like sometimes you can headshot somebody and still get 3 or 4 body shots with an AR, and at that same distance I would be dying to a striker, an SMG with a slow fire rate, and just a ridiculous amount of damage for some reason. So that was the only really big complaint I had about weapon balancing. I just don't think that an SMG should be able to outclass an AR at close, medium, and long range. The audio in the game was not bad. teammate footsteps were really loud. And sometimes the spawns wouldn't always work the way I wanted them to. Sometimes people would spawn right behind me and I just wasn't paying attention to the spawn flips, things like that. But if I had a teammate spawn behind me, I would have to 180 to look because the footsteps were so loud I thought it was an enemy. And then if I didn't check the next time, it was most likely an enemy that had run up behind me. So just very difficult to tell the difference. You can, and I guess this is worth mentioning as well, there is a headgear in game that you can use once you unlock it that reduces the noise of your teammates' footsteps to try to help combat this. Next thing I want to talk about is movement. Very clean. As with all COD games, it's fast. It is fast. It's a COD game, but it is clean. You got sliding, you got dolphin diving, you got sprinting, you got tack sprinting, and this one added tack stance, which is kind of an in-between of ADS and hip fire, so that you can have a smaller hip fire box, but still kind of be hip firing, but it's faster than full ADSing, so that's kind of an interesting thing as well. One of the big things that this game has going for it is the nostalgia. If you've been playing since 2009, and you know the Modern Warfare 2 original maps, you're probably gonna like this game. And it brings back the map loading system, which a bunch of people were asking for the last Modern Warfare game as well. So it's tough to pass up, honestly. I probably will buy this game just because I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 so much, the 2009 version, and I liked going in to see what all hidden spots were still in the game. You got the high-rise crane spot, you got the high-rise rooftop. They did take out some of the spots on Skid Row where you could get onto the fire escapes and stuff like that, but I was surprised to see how many spots there actually were still in the game from the original Modern Warfare 2 maps, so that was kind of fun to see, and again, a lot of fun just to explore the maps again. One of my biggest concerns, as it is always with Call of Duty since Black Ops 4, is the battle passes, the pay to win, the paying for weapons in the battle passes. Also, you've got to keep in mind that with Warzone 2 and DMZ, there literally is pay to win where you can buy cosmetics from the store that give you added bonuses as far as armor. Overall, I did enjoy my time. There were high points. I love this spot, dude. And there were low points, you know, for sure. Over the 2 days that I played, it was infuriating and exciting and fun all at the same time, just like Call of Duty usually is. So is it new? Is it improved? Not really. They honestly kind of just went back to the roots, and that's probably why I like it so much. There's the higher time to kill. I think the snipers felt really good. The fact that you can still one shot with the snipers is great. I wish the guns had a little bit more of a special feeling to them. They kind of just all feel like you're shooting something. It's kind of bleh, but overall it still felt pretty good with the movement being as clean and smooth as it is. And I would just say I want that striker fixed. I want ARs to be more powerful than SMGs for the most part. So that's lights out for this episode. But if you liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. That would help the channel out a lot. And that's all I got. So get out of here. Catch you on the next one.